And we're live, everybody.
What's up?
What was that? It was like a Vogue thing going on?
Well, I was trying to do the clap, and then I just got lost.
Yeah.
Did you find it?
No, I bought
Hell
another
yeah!
one.
There we go. We totally
Find
need
it
that.
anywhere, so I just bought it.
How's everybody doing? Sorry we missed you last week. Dave was out at the poker tournament, and God, man,
Wow.
tell us a
Talk
little bit
about
about that. We haven't told people about it. Let's hear it.
So,
How'd it go?
It was my first ever World Series of Poker event. I gotta say, talk about just like intimidation factor. I had the bubble guts all morning. Like it was serious, just nervous stomach going on, everything like that. So I woke up about 4 a.m. on Tuesday, got on a plane, flew to Vegas, no delays, no nothing, which is great. As soon as I got there, I went straight to Horseshoe so that George and I could register, because as soon as you registered, you didn't have to deal with any of the lines, all that stuff. Went to the hotel, room was ready, put my bags in there. We're all set to start. George said, "You start." I'm like, "Oh, gee, thanks, George."
Putting you on the spot.
Yeah, totally put me on the spot. Huge intimidation factor at first. And then you realize that, almost everybody at the table is just regular people as well. There were a couple of poker pros, and then there were more poker pros because as you thinned out rest of the people, we started with 1,372 teams. It's a tag team event. You can tag out your partner. So we finished 42nd. By the time we got to those final 4 or 5 tables, oh, dude, it was crazy. It was to the point
incredible.
of where there are poker players, there's $1 million winnings all around. And here I am like, my name's Jeff, that kind of thing. I did as many updates as I could. I've got 2 more updates to load in from George where he was having fun too, taking video. I just haven't had time to edit them. But I got to say, it was a blast. I'm already set to do it again next year with George. It was amazing experience. Finishing 42nd was just crazy to me. Our goal was to get through the first day. And then it was to get into the money, which they paid 206 spots. So after the first day, there's only 20 people left until the money started rolling in. And then every first it was every 20 people, and then it was every 18 people, and it kept going down. The money kept going up. I was just floored about the whole thing. The cool thing alongside was behind us was the Millionaire Maker tournament going on. And there was a huge controversy around that just got resolved because one of the guys from a different casino company, he had what's called a golden ticket. This was a promotion that this different poker series was advertising. If he won this event, he would get an extra $1 million from them. There was some collusion going on, and you're welcome to look this up and tell me what you think. I, for one, think, look, it was just the 2 of them. They obviously made a deal to split all the money. They didn't do anything illegal by the rules. It definitely broke the spirit of the rules, no question. But it was not against the rules what they did. There is a rule provision called chip dumping. But chip dumping is when you're at a table giving another person a chip so they have an advantage. This is someone who is essentially giving up a win. The guy who did not have the $1 million advantage, he was a 9-1 chip lead over the next guy. So they had to do something, and it was just essentially how fast can we stream something together, because they would have had to get together real quick to figure out who was who.
Wow.
But so
what an experience.
Here's the resolution to that. Both of them got second place and had to split the second place money. Instead of each of them getting 1.4, 1.8, or no, sorry, $1.6 million each, they to split $1.1 million each.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yep.
So sad.
I feel bad for them. Not at all. But it was absolutely awesome. Hanging out with George is great. If you ever have a chance to, George is a crazy guy. We had
I could tell in his videos.
You can see him in a couple of videos I have. I got a cash up on the way and the brand new Top Stop game coming out. George is in both those. And I got a couple more clips that I said I have to load up from George as well. But absolutely a blast.
Yeah, the Proud Monkey says what? No bracelet? I guess that was for the second place winners.
Yeah, they didn't get that either. They took it away
that's right, because nobody got first. Yeah,
nobody got first. I have to tell you, there was a time where that idea of winning the whole tournament kept popping into my head, like this could happen, especially when we coming close to day 3. But our chips are dwindling down. The blinds are going up crazy, so it just wasn't happening.
Yeah, didn't you only have like 6 hands left, and so you had to?
I had 8 big blinds left because the blinds are 10,000 for the small blind, 20,000, 20,000 for the big blind. So you had to ante 20,000 plus give them 20,000. At this time, really, I only had like 180,000 in chips. So when a blind came around, that's 50 grand right there.
Yeah, that's tough.
How I went out. I went out how I wanted to go out, and with the best cards. The final hand, I raised it to 80,000, essentially a little bit less than half my chips. It went around to the guy with one of the big stacks. He threw out $200,000 in chips. I called right away. I had ace queen. He had ace 4. He just happened to pull an ace on the flop, but I was a 70-30%, 70-30 advantage going in. So I felt good. 8 big blinds left. The book says you do it. So I did it. Didn't work out this time.
And he had the 4. Yeah.
And he hit the 4. Yeah. So way it goes. It was an awesome time, though.
Absolutely still awesome. Incredible. 42 out of 1,300.
That part blows my mind.
That's still amazing, man.
George plays all the time, and his best finish was 63rd.
Wow.
So it's like, what? How did we get here?
I know. That's crazy. What a crazy story. And thanks for sharing it with everybody. I enjoyed all the shorts. So
I hope everyone enjoyed the shorts. If you didn't see those, go back and see those, because those were real time as I can get. Yeah. And you had real emotions going on, some of those.
You could tell you were getting tired by the end of the day.
It was grueling. I mean, I was getting tired, real tired. Yeah. And some of the people I was playing with didn't get a break the whole time because their partners were playing in another tournament.
Yeah.
Brutal.
All right. Well, guys, this is our live question and answers show. We didn't do it last week, so we're 2 weeks in the making here. So start asking your questions. We got about 8 of them started up already. And let's just jump into it. We're going to start answering questions as they come in. We're looking for some good ones, some good, unique ones.
One more thing real quick. Dave.
Yeah, go ahead.
Next week, next Thursday, I head to Atlantic City. I will be in Atlantic City for one night only, like the Blues Brothers, one night only. And so I'll probably be there about 8:30. I'm going to stay up till about 10:30. I'll be hanging around Borgata. So if you, is that Adam's exploits? What he's saying here? We get to saying, are you staying at the Borgata? Yes, Adam, staying at Borgata. I'll be there that night. Probably for only a couple hours before it's time to go to bed, because I do have to get up early and meet NJ Slot Guy in the morning in Newark. So I'll be spending a couple hours there, and then I am at Foxwoods until Monday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday until Monday, I'll be at Foxwoods. So definitely it's the easier time to hit me there. But I hope to see a lot of you guys in Atlantic City. Definitely come out and say hi. There we go. That was all.
That's good. There's Michael. Hey, Michael. Good to see you, man. Mr. Michael.
Thanks,
hey,
Michael.
In chat. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate the $5.
Appreciate that so much.
Make sure you check out his channel too, guys. He's a character. I've known him for a long time. Thanks for tuning in, buddy. I appreciate you.
Here's a quick one here. Do you wear sunglasses during play? I do not, Robin. I was actually making fun of everybody wearing sunglasses because I was got to a table and everybody but the 2 people next to me were wearing sunglasses, and I was like, "Oh, I didn't get the memo. This was sunglass table."
Was there anybody wearing them upside down? You remember that one pro that did that?
There wasn't anybody I saw doing that, but
yeah, there was some pro that used to do that, wear them upside down.
In my opinion, if you need sunglasses, this isn't knocking. These are people who do it professionally. I understand, you know, you want to be looking around a little bit more. I don't wear sunglasses because I want to see everything, and I want them to see me because I'll just look at you. Like, I don't have a problem looking at you. I'll look at the cards, look back at you, look at your chips, look back at you.
It's like no problem. Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's like I want you to see that I'm looking around at you. So
Yeah.
no, I don't wear sunglasses during play. If I made it to the final table, maybe I'll start. You know, it might be
There
a
you
good time to
go.
start.
There you go. All right. Let's see. Okay, Tim asked this earlier. So, hey guys, one of my local casinos now has a few $1 9-line triple diamonds. How does this compare to in volatility to the 5-line or the single line? I like the 9-line triple diamond game. I don't. I guess they brought it back out in the new Diamond RS cabinet. I haven't seen it, so maybe that's what that is. But I don't like playing the dollar version because it's $9 to spend. But the quarter one, New York, at least they used to have it. I had one there that I used to love playing. That one can last a fairly long time. But make sure you play all of 9 lines. You got to really do that on that one.
You definitely have to.
I'll have to look for that in the new cabinet and see.
If you don't play 9 lines, you're going to regret it every time a 9-line hit happens.
I know, exactly right. Let's see. Buckeyes slots. This is a good question here. So how do you guys balance creating content with slot play and sticking to the system? And I know you hate that word, but do you ever feel tempted to go for the content? Curious about your thoughts. So the answer is no. We never play money for the sake of getting content. Now, we would always dream of playing $100 machine and getting a crazy jackpot and getting it on camera because it would make our YouTube channel explode and all that kind of stuff. But that's not what our main focus is here. And so we're not going to do that, right? So if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. We do play off camera every now and then, because we do our thing on camera to try to entertain you guys. We play games that we normally would never play.
Camera shy. That's what you don't know. Slot machines are camera shy.
That's so true. Confirmation bias, Dave. But
hey, you've seen it too.
I've seen it too. I know. But normally when we do go live and stuff like that, we try to bounce around, and first we play the games that we like a lot, but we also try to play ones that will entertain you guys. But ultimately, we feel like it's a sacrifice because it's not something we would ever play, but we're kind of doing it for the entertainment. So we do that a little bit, but not often. We usually just play what we like to play and show you the reality of it on very low bets. So and that's how we play off camera too. So there you go. Good question.
From Jody. But did you wear lucky underwear? I did not.
Why is she asking that? Did you wear any underwear?
Did I wear any underwear? No, that's definitely one of those things you don't want to go commando on because you're sitting there long periods of time.
Yeah. All right, let's see. And Ron Man has a question. Do a lot of machines take away how lines pay when you play higher denomination? I noticed on Zodiac Lantern that $1 denomination loses some diagonal line pays that seem to pay more straight across percentage-wise than 1 cent. So that is certainly the case on some games. The other one that I've seen this on is Huff and even more Puff. If you go into the $1 and the $2, it's 15 lines instead of any ways pay. And so the reason they do that is all for the return to player, the math that they have to figure it all out. So some games do actually change based on the dollar amount that you're wagering. It's essentially a different game. And they're, of course, allowed to do that. What they can't do is change it based on the credit values that you're betting inside of that denomination. That has to kind of remain the same. But yeah, they certainly are starting to kind of toy with that a little bit. And again, it's just all to make sure that the math works out. Like if they did the $1 and they kept it at anyways, maybe it was way too many line hits and that was throwing off the RTP, so they had to change it, stuff like that.
And here's one from Bob's Tank. I had a hand pay at a tribal casino and was told they pay out in vouchers only. Then slot attendant told me my boss does this because he wants you to put the voucher back into the machine. Comments? So I would definitely encourage you to ask for a cash payment. If this is a policy, then it needs to be a written policy and ask them to show you the policy. However, when they pay you in vouchers, that means you have no money to tip. And I do encourage you not to tip if they're not getting you paid the way you want to be paid. The other thing is take that voucher directly to the cage and cash it out instantly. Don't even don't even try to do their game, play their game like that. I highly encourage you to write a letter in, explain to them that this isn't the way it should be done. I should have the choice of getting paid cash or a voucher, and let them know you're not happy about that.
All right. Let's keep it going. Good questions coming in, guys. Keep it up. TG Lip 24. Question about the pinball behind you, Mark. By the way, that's for sale if anybody's interested. Question about the pinball behind you, Mark. In the bonus round, is each press of shooting the ball a separate RNG, or is the bonus round total determined right when you hit at the start? So pinball is very unique. It really depends on what has come before it. So if you ended up on the first ball hitting 100, the RNG is still picking the second ball, the third, the fourth, and the fifth, but it changes the size of the buckets of the values, if that makes sense. So imagine like the first shot, you have a big bowl and it's got all the values up there that's possible, and it goes in and it pulls out 100. Well, that bowl then changes to make the 100 harder to get on all the subsequent picks that it does. So you're going to see a lot more 15s and 20s and 25s in there than you did before, and it kind of changes that, and that's how it keeps the average, which I think is around 82 credits is the average on pinball. That's how it keeps the average, is that it kind of changes the weights for every single ball that you hit. That's why it's really hard to get like 400 or 500s. I've never seen somebody get more than 200s. It's just, it keeps shrinking and shrinking and shrinking, if that makes sense. Yeah, so that's what's going on with pinball.
Which is why the 1,000 credits is so hard, because that
just to get
freaking thing shrinks down to zero.
Yeah, it's so hard to. You have to basically make it through all those.
From Sigma Boy 097. When was the last time you played Cherry's Jubilee? Last week. And then somebody apparently told him about the video. Yeah, go check out that video. I made that as a late video for Clint. Go check it out. It's on there right now. Had a great time playing Cherry's Jubilee at MGM Grand. Wish I could have found the wild cherries, but they're gone. Mark, I forgot to tell you this. You remember at Venetian, that big bank of old school 3 reels? It was at the Palazzo.
Yeah.
Gone.
They're all gone?
I would say roughly 30 machines are gone. They still have
now there's no point in going there.
The Fun on the Run game. Well, no, because Top Shot's there and Cash Up Jackpots are there.
Okay.
So totally reason to go there.
Still there.
Run for Your Money's still there. They have a couple of others, but they're all gone. Like all those wild cherries, all those other ones. I'm hoping they move them, and I just didn't have time to look for them.
Yeah, but every time that we've been over there, nobody's playing them.
No one's playing them.
I bet they just got rid of them and they put other stuff in there. I mean, they're just like, that's it. Nobody's playing these anymore. Let's get them out of here. Or let's move them to the Highlander room and put them up to $100. That's the other thing they'll do.
I did not go in the high limit room either. So
yeah, there you go. Maybe they're all sitting in there. That's too funny.
But George and I did eat at Lago. I've never eaten at Lago before in the Bellagio, and it was very good.
And Dark Oblivion says, is there any difference in return to player between top dollar on a new cabinet versus an older 3-reel cabinet? Are new cabinets an excuse to lower to returns? No, they keep the math the same. So in order to release, let's say there's double top dollar. I've actually got 2 versions of double top dollar behind me. One's the original, and then one's this one, which is, I think, the third. Yeah, Dave's got it. Which is like the 3rd iteration of it. And now they have it in the new Diamond RS cabinet. As long as it's the same game, meaning that it's single pay line, 2 or 3 credits, the math is exactly the same. There's nothing that has changed on it. They're not allowed to do that. They can't just re-release double top dollar and change all the math on it. Now, what they did on the new one is that they created the 5 and 9 line versions that you see. And they could absolutely change the math on that because it's a new game, if that makes sense. But whether you pick an older machine or a newer machine, it's going to play exactly the same way. Good question, though.
Oh, where'd that question go? Here it is from Study Boy. How much should I tip when you get a hand payout? This is a completely personal question of how much you should tip. Try to keep in mind, and I'm sorry if I'm harsh here, these people who are paying you out, that is their job to pay you out. Do you tip the McDonald's guy when he gives you your burger? That's up to you. It's a personal thing. Some people do tip the McDonald's guy. Some people tip the slot attendant. Totally up to you. I, for one, do believe in karma. that I should be good to people, I good back. So I try to tip about $20 for a $1,200 hand pay up until about $2,000. And then I kind of go to a 1% thing after that. It's 100% depends on the slot attendant. If the slot attendant is crabby, I'm not going to give the slot attendant a tip because that's not something that they should be doing. They should be a great person because they want a tip. The people who really want a tip, like they kind of push for it, I usually tip them less. I've had this happen to me at Slots of Fun. I was playing the $5 coin slot machine, and I didn't even hit a jackpot. I just hit like $700, and they would just hold their hand out. I'm like, okay, no, sorry, that's not happening. So it's up to you, totally up to you. 1% is the rule of thumb, but I like to do $20 up until 1% catch in. So that way it's not costing you a ton of money. Also remember, all those tips are split. So you're just giving one person $20. They're not going to get that $20 directly. That's going to get divided on to everybody who's on shift or in that pool.
Yeah, and if you're looking for a way to kind of break the ice or ease the tension because you don't want to tip, just tell them, listen, I'm down on my luck. If I start winning, I'll tip you the next time.
That's pretty much,
just say something like that, because they're not allowed to pressure you if you say you're losing. Anytime you say I'm losing, I'm not doing well, they have to walk off. They're not supposed to comment about it at all. And so that scares them enough to usually get rid of them, because they can't say, oh man, that sucks. Maybe you should go get some more money out of ATM and play more. They can't say that. They're not allowed to say that. So that's just a good way to kind of just get rid of them if you don't want to give them a tip. It's completely optional, like Dave said.
Oh, I'm going to take one more real quick so I don't lose it.
Yep.
Buckeye Slots. Caesars has gotten better on comps and MGM is stagnant. Weird. This is not really something that's weird. Caesars generally moves faster than MGM. Even though Caesars has more properties, they have always moved faster. They're the ones who kind of react first to things and the ones who make changes first. You're probably going to start seeing better comps because Vegas is down. We have more bad news for Vegas. Essentially, year over year numbers are down again, and there's no sign of them stopping throughout the summer. So I have a feeling that we're going to start seeing that a little more. And I've actually started seeing some good offers coming through. I've seen some show tickets come through with a free room stay. Usually it's one or the other. You don't get both. And I've seen a couple of slot tournaments come through with room stay. And this isn't just MGM or Caesars. It's all the properties in Vegas. So fingers crossed it keeps as a trend for us. But as the attendance keeps going down in Vegas, we might see things get tightened back after a while as well.
Ebb and flow.
Exactly.
All right, let's see. And I saw someone made a comment say that we missed comments. We bounce around. Like, we look for ones that are kind of keep the show flowing. Sometimes we come back to it, things like that. So if we missed your question, we'll try to get to it as best we can. We're also considering stuff that we answered last time. Here we go with this question. This is a very common one. Talking Share says, is it better to max bet $5 or max $5 at 1 cent denomination or minimum between $5 and 5 cent on a slot machine? This is just a scenario, but trying to understand if it really makes any difference. So in the short term, it really doesn't make any difference. Just make sure of one important thing. And we did a video on this very recently, so if you don't mind going to look for it. But the importance is to make sure that you have full coverage of all the features that the game is giving you, okay? By you betting 50 credits, if that prevents you from getting the progressives like the Grand or any of the respin features or free games or anything like that, that's not what you should be doing. You should be betting enough credits to cover all the features of the game. As long as you're doing that, technically speaking, going to a higher denomination and betting the fewer number of credits is the better play. But again, don't expect like this huge outcome to just start occurring right away, because that's not how they work. It would take you a long time of consistent play to ever notice any kind of difference like that. So all things being equal, I usually go up to the higher denomination and play the lower credits. Just don't start raising your bet, because it's real tempting when you're on the low end. You're like, I'll go to 100. I'll go to 150. And
For me, if it's a $4 bet at 2 cent or a $4 bet at 5 cent, I play the $4 bet at 5 cent.
Yeah.
It's just, it's a little bit lower, but at the same time, a little bit left, I should say, on your betting.
Yep.
And from Spirit of the Morning, how the Smarties are going to find you and one another at Foxwoods. The casinos are all over the place. I am primarily going to be in the Grand Pequot and the Grand Cedars Casino. Those are my two favorite spots. I don't really like going over to the Fox Tower. It's kind of a far walk, and I really, except for the top dollar in the high limit room, which is only a $5 one, there's not that much worth it over there for me.
All right, let's see. And Jonathan Avila says, is minimum denomination Dragon Cash RTP like minimum denomination Dragon Link, or is it a little closer to the same denom? What about $1 million Dragon Link? I really don't know. I mean, they're probably similar. The RTP setting is set by the casino. They usually do it based on denomination, not the game theme itself. So all the dollar machines will be around a certain amount, say 90%. All the $5 machines will be around 92%. These are just averages. That's the kind of thing that you would find, regardless of the type of game it is. The $1 million Dragon Link, the only reason it's a $1 million Dragon Link is because the lowest bet amount is very high, right? The lowest denomination is usually $5. Sometimes there's a $1 one, but you have to bet pretty high. Things like that. So that's why there's a $1 million Dragon Link. It's just because it has a lower or a higher lowest bet, if that makes sense. Here's the answer to that. Really, is just play the games that you enjoy playing the most, whichever ones that is, but make sure you stay within your budget, because it's very hard to get that grand, especially if you're not betting all the way on the right, meaning the highest denomination and the highest credit values. And on the $1 million Dragon Link, that's like $2,250 a spin or $2,500 a spin. It gets pretty crazy pretty fast. Good question.
And Slotman, as well as Jody, said, I tipped the cleaning people. They were astonished. Tipping the bathroom attendants is the best use of your money because they work the hardest. All right.
I agree.
They work the abs. I tipped the bathroom attendant at Horseshoe around the poker room. The poker convention center, because that dude was working constantly. And I gave him $20 when I left because I was looking for a stall. They were destroyed in the worst way. And I'm like, Here you go, man. Doing a great job.
They
so bad for that guy.
I think that what I always say is when they come around and start picking up the drink cups and the trash and everything else, I always tip them and I say, I'm sorry you have to clean up after us disgusting humans.
Yep.
I mean, people, guys, there's like the trash can is right around the corner and you can't take your trash there. I mean, it's mind-boggling to me. So they work really hard. Slot attendants, I don't know. Compared to those guys,
I think no one works hard.
I'd rather give the people cleaning up after us disgusting people more. Mm-hmm. All right, let's see. Mark B says, when you hit the bonus on top dollar, are each of the offers random, or are they all set when the bonus hits? Do you know the odds of hitting the top 1,000 credit offer? So I don't know the odds, but I can tell you which one has the best odds, and that is the old school 5-line regular top dollar. If you can find that one, that has the best odds of hitting the 1,000 credits. Next in line is the single pay line regular top dollar. And then after that, I think it goes probably to double top dollar and then goes on from there. But no, they're completely random. Every single time it's an RNG stop. Again, just like we were talking about with the big bowl on Pinball, it reaches down, except every single offer is completely separate. But it's just filled with 15s and 20s and 25s. There's a couple in there that are the 500s and the 800s and the 1,000, but it's most likely going to pull those smaller amounts. But it doesn't punish you. Like, you give up a good offer, it's not going to punish you with the 15 credits. A lot of people seem to say, yeah, but it did. It gave me the 15 credits. It's like, yeah, but you forgot the time that you got 15 credits on the first offer. You're just remembering it because you got it on the final offer and got burned.
That's a pretty
so yeah, it's pretty random, every single offer. So if you get a good one, take it. Don't think something else is coming.
Every time I've gotten the 1,000 credits, it has been different offers. Yeah. So I've gotten it like 3 times, and it's been the first offer, it's been the last offer, and it's been like one of the middle offers. So there's no telling when it's going to come. Just remember, if it's double top dollar and it's not the times 2, you have to accept offer.
Yeah, it's not going to automatically accept it. Don't make that mistake.
You can try again. Yeah. From Chuck in Connecticut. Dave, what's the schedule for Connecticut? And are you dragging Mark along? Mark's not going to make it to this one. He's still on his break. But I will be there on Friday, sometime around 6 p.m., and I'll be leaving on Monday morning pretty early. So pretty much anywhere around Foxwoods. There may be a day where we go to Mohegan for a little bit, but pretty much it'll be pretty much around Foxwoods the whole time.
All right, let's see. And Butcher says, when you play in the high limit room, do you go to the cashier and get a ticket to enter in the machine, or do you just walk around with a big wad of $100 bills? Well, you're asking the wrong people, because the one thing we don't do is ever walk around with a wad of $100 bills. And we don't recommend most people do it. Even if you're a high limit player, it's not a good idea to bring your entire budget down with you. If you have a wad of bills in your cargo shorts or whatever, go up to the room and take like 90% of that and put it away in the safe, and then come down with the 10% and just play there. This is kind of a personal thing, but Dave and I really don't like to just play off of tickets as much as possible. We like to cash those in for actual cash, because what's more easier to put into a slot, $100 bill or a ticket that is $800 something, and then you're like, I'll play it down to $700. I'll play it down to $600. I'll play it down to $500. You just start changing things a lot quicker that way. Where if you have to go into the wallet and pull out the 100, or even worse yet, you got to go to the car or go up to the safe to get more money. That's slowing you down. That's the better play.
And Robin gifted 5 memberships.
Oh,
thank you so much, Robin. Appreciate that. If you get one of Robin's memberships, make sure to go ahead and check out our community page and how to connect to our Discord. That's where all the action happens.
Yeah. Good or bad. All right. Let's see.
And Susan just texted me. So, thank you, Susan. Keeping me on the ball.
Thank you, Susan. Susan rocks. The Rambling Gambler says, so can you explain why it's important that just because you play small amounts, it's all about the game? So one of the things that we try to talk about a lot in a lot of our videos and things is that you got to remember that going to the casino is not for making money. That is not the point of going to the casino. And boy, do we get lit up in the comments about this. No, I go to the casino to make money. It's just the wrong mentality, guys. Like, if you have that mentality, you're going to run into trouble. You really are, because you're just going to think it's expected. You're going to become expected to win every single time. And that's obviously a slippery slope. You should go for the entertainment value first. Treat it just like you would going to a concert, going out for the weekend, flights, hotel, whatever the case is. Treat it like that. If you happen to win, great. Do something with it. Don't put it all back in and leave and then go buy something, or pay off a credit card or do something like that. But never turn going into the casino as a money-making opportunity. That's where people start to go off the cliff, is they start thinking, man, I got to make rent next week. Oh man, if I go to the casino and just play I'll just play a couple hands of blackjack and maybe a couple spins of the roulette, and I'll win, and then I can make, I can pay my mortgage or rent next week. It's slippery slope, guys. You should never think of it as that way. And I hope most of you guys don't, because that's kind of my
daily tip tomorrow.
There you go. Dave's got a great way. That's a good segue into this.
That is.
But Dave's got a great tip tomorrow. So pay attention.
All about that. From Talking Share 30, does having a rewards club member card levels have any effect on the slot winnings? Usually people think it's the higher level, it will get you better outcomes. That is no way connected, no way true. The player's card system is completely separate from the actual system RNG inside the slot machine. They are 2 separate systems. No effect whatsoever on either one of them. Always use your player card. Get those comps. Anyone who says, oh, when I take my card out, I start winning, just coincidence. Not really a thing. So put that card in, get those comps. Totally separate. I got another one here. Rodney Shelby. If you had $250 to gamble, would you play the quarter slots or the dollar? Old school 3-reel. Okay, Rodney, you didn't say whether it was my whole budget or just my budget for the day. So I'm going to assume it's my budget for the day. If it's my budget for the day, I'm probably going to mix in quarters and dollars, depending on what I see. Probably go for like a, any kind of 3-quarter game, or the 2 credit dollar game. So I'd play in those range. Obviously, play the 3 rail slots. $250 is all I got. I'm headed toward 4 Queens, downtown Grand, where I know my money's going to last a little bit longer on those old school games.
Just saw this come in. Shout out to Lucky Ginger Slots. Make sure you guys go over there and subscribe to them. We met them last year. Was it last year? 2 years ago.
It was last year. Lucky Ginger was last year in
Windover.
No, that's Lucky Jules.
Oh, Lucky Jules.
Lucky
I got
Ginger.
No, we saw
in Louisiana.
Kashada, right? Yeah, that's right. Sorry, Lucky. I remember now. Yeah. Flipping out. I actually like flipping out better than pinball. I'll play that one over pinball all day long. The 5 line.
Well, because the bonus happens more frequent than pinball.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And the animations on the top and everything just look a lot better. That's just me.
And from Dark Oblivion, playing 6-5 blackjack on electric cabinet versus 6-5 blackjack on a real table. Is there any tangible difference in terms of RNG? The game has to play as blackjack would play. The RNG is dealing the cards at random. That is as far as it goes. There's no RNG whether or not you're going to win or not. It has to deal the cards out in a 1 of 52 combination versus the 2 cards you're getting. So it has to follow the rules of blackjack. Even though the shuffle is done by RNG, that is still the rules of blackjack are followed.
Oh boy, we got some everybody's gifting now. So Bob Top Dollar gifted 5 Gamble Smart memberships. Thank you, buddy.
No one loves Top Dollar more than Bob.
No. He's got a whole house is just completely filled with He's got memorabilia on the walls. He's got everything. Thank you so much, buddy. Appreciate it. And Kestrel with the $20, no question tonight. Just appreciate you guys doing. Do appreciate you guys doing these Q&As. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Kestrel. Appreciate you.
Yeah, man. And then Study Boy gifted 5 Gamble Smart memberships. We're going to keep going, guys. We're going to keep going. Talk and share. Gifted. Everybody in here is going to be gifted a membership. That's awesome. Thank you. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate it. Thanks for supporting us, and you guys get a free membership out of it. And we hope you renew, of course. But and check our community page. Proud Monkey's probably already posted it there for all the details about all the goodies you get and how do you get access to it. And we hope to see you in Discord, which is our live chat. We kind of just have off the topic conversations in there, behind the scenes stuff. It's a lot of fun. Thank you so much, guys.
G2E announcement, since I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
Everyone, Proud Monkey, Susan Majestic, if you could throw the G2E interest form up there. We've got a form to click. If you're interested in coming to G2E, put your name and email address in there so we can contact you, keep you up to date on what's going on. We're going to have our G2E meetup on Sunday, October 5th at that downtown Grand. Then we will be going to G2E on the 7th through the 9th. Monday is sort of a regular day at the expo. We actually go to the expo where the fun is. And so we usually do the best we can to find you guys tickets. I'm pretty sure we'll find some this year as well. But check us out. If you're going to be in Vegas during that time frame, absolutely come and stop by. We got to remember every time to mention that.
I know. We're so terrible with that kind of stuff.
We are really bad about it.
Especially asking to subscribe and like too. We don't do that too. We're just two humble guys trying to make people gamble better.
That's why on all my videos I have that little like, share, subscribe graphic that comes up because I forget to say it.
I do that, but I forget to say it. So that's kind of like a cop out, right? But we're also not aggressive. Like we're not. I think people that watch YouTube kind of get that now. Like,
yeah, if you
end up enjoying the video, you're going to hit the like button. If you really like the video and you want to see more, you're probably going to subscribe. And but everything YouTube says, all the how to grow your channel, you got to mention subscribe. You got to tell them to do it. You got to tell them 3 times, the beginning, the middle, the end. You got to beg for likes. You got to beg for shares. It's like, I don't want to do that. Like, it's a little over the top for me. I usually don't. When I hear a video, it's like, oh, it really helped me out. And then they say it 2 minutes later, I just turn it off. I don't keep watching them. Okay, rant over about YouTube subscriptions.
Lucky Ginger, no, I'm not going to Biloxi. I was going to Gulfport, but I don't know if I'm going to actually hit the casino, going there to visit friends. So I'll give everybody an update. If I do happen to go to the casino, I'll post it on the community page.
Yeah. Oh, man, we got so many questions.
Yeah.
I'll do a couple comments here. So Florida Loon News says, thanks for bringing back the daily videos. Oh, you're welcome. We thought it'd be a good time to do those. For all you guys that have been with us for a while, yeah, we're going to go rehash some of the old ones, but nobody knows about those. We've had so many subscribers since then, probably over 60,000 new subscribers since we did those.
Yep.
And so we're going to kind of rehash them, redo them, but we're going to keep it going. And if you, please, I've already picked out 4 comments that we're going to do videos on, and we'll give you a shout out if we end up picking it. So in any of our daily videos, if you have a question for us and we don't answer on the show, chances are if you put in the comments of those videos that we'll get to it, and we'll do a dedicated video just for you answering your question. So, all right. I'm trying to get some of these older ones that we missed earlier. Mark Matheson says, is the secret phrase at the Grand Casino, the downtown Grand, going to be the same in mid-August? Yeah, it's not going to be changing anytime soon. But remember, guys, the new saying is Dave and Mark from Gamble Smart sent me. Okay. If you get it backwards and say Mark and Dave from Gamble Smart sent you, that's okay. But you got to use those words. If you use the old one, they're going to look at you with a blank face. There was a lot of reasons why we had to do that. A lot of people that didn't even know who we were using it, and they kind of got out of control. But that is the phrase right now. Dave and Mark from Gamble Smart sent me. And you will get up to $50 in match play and $15 in free slot play. You can only use this once. This is like a one-time deal. It's not annual or anything like that. So use it wisely. And we hope you stay around and enjoy the casino because it's small, but it's low denomination. They have a lot of good games in there. It's not too terrible on the smoke and the busyness and all that kind of stuff. And you can get a beer and a hot dog. What is it? $3?
$3 for beer and a hot dog.
And it wasn't bad, guys. We did it. It was not bad at all.
That is a Nathan's hot dog. Okay.
Yeah.
Straight up Nathan's hot dog. I mean, dang. I was expecting, Jim's hot dogs.
Yeah, right. Just hot dog water. They just dip the bun in the water.
I did not expect it to be real meat, and it was a Nathan's hot dog, so I was impressed.
Yep.
And from Bridget Leopold, do bingo games have different colors cards every day, or do they not change at all? Thanks, Mark. Not sure I'm following what you mean.
Are you talking about live bingo? Like not bingo games?
If she means live bingo,
yeah, they have different colors. Yeah. They rotate out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what
a lot of times it's the different staff rotating through. They'll play 2 or 3 people at the bingo hall are great at it, and they're the ones who get to do it. So usually it's somebody with a very clear voice, doesn't have an accent, doesn't like that. So yeah, they switch those out pretty often though, especially on longer games.
This is funny. Tex Bino, with y'all having full-time jobs, how do y'all get so much time? We don't. Guys, since we got back, I have been going until 9:45, and that's when I eat dinner every night. That's after doing the daily tip, editing it, having to refilm it because I goofed something up, whatever the case is. We don't get a lot of time off, but we have a passion for this. We just don't use it because we got so much stuff to do,
Yeah.
And of course, our slot machine business and all that steals us away on the weekends, and so it's rough right now. It's rough, but we're enjoying it, and that's what matters most, right?
I'm lucky enough to be in my job long enough to where I have 30 days of vacation a year, but it goes fast. And the problem is that Mark doesn't have 30 days of vacation a year, so it's a little more difficult. It's like, hey, let's go do this. I got to
save it for Christmas time. Yeah.
So we do the best we can with dividing up our trips on Fridays and Mondays so we can utilize the weekend there, or in any holidays we can spare from family and other obligations.
And shout out to Bob's Tank with the clutch coming in clutch with the 10 Gamble Smart memberships. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. You guys are awesome. What a show. Okay, I saw this one earlier. I'll go ahead and take it. So John Chung Min Tat says, how often casino change their slot machines? I came across most of the machines like Fortune 88, Bats, and even Pink Panther Gone has been replaced with the newer slots. So this is a continuous thing. We've talked about this a lot on the channel. Casinos, like people think that what casinos are looking at is to tighten and loosen the machines and do all this micromanagement of all the machines to make sure that they win on the weekends and don't win on the weekdays, get the locals for all they got, that kind of stuff. Everybody thinks that. But working on the inside with casinos, what actually happens is that they are only concerned with one thing and one thing only. Are people playing that game? If there's not a butt in that chair playing that game, that is lost revenue for them. The only way they make money off of slot machines is people playing them. So as games get stale, people don't play them anymore. Maybe a new version came out. The perfect way to notice this is like with the Huff and Puff. Tell me some place, and I know they exist, but tell me some place where the original Huff and Puff is still there. They've all been converted to Huff and More Puff, and now they're going to Huff and More Puff.
Maybe you can find
stale.
one.
Right.
Yeah.
People get bored of playing the old ones, so they got to put the new ones in. So when a casino, especially a busy casino, what they're looking at in the back end is saying how much traffic is going to certain areas and where are those machines and what machines do we have there? Are people playing them? Are they not? Let's swap them out. Let's put something else in. A lot of them are leased where they can do it very quickly without having to spend any money, things like that. So it sucks, especially for all the old school stuff that we like to play. Every time we go out to Vegas, there's more gone. There's more gone. And that's just the fact of reality these days. It's just the way it is. And it's going to be on that trend for a while. So it sucks because I remember all my favorite games that came out probably 15 years ago, 10 years ago, and I wish I could play again. It's a tough find. It's just the way it goes.
That's when we find these older games, we get so excited. Like when I found that Monsters game in New Mexico, I was like, this is the game. Oh my God, I can't believe it's here.
Did you know somebody posted, sorry, real quick. I think it was in Ohio. Somebody actually found there's still a working Willy Wonka 3-reel.
What?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to Ohio eventually.
Yeah, I know. I think it was Ohio. I did a thumbs up so I could make sure and go back and look at it. But it's fun to find those old school games that you forgot about,
And from Caddy M, do you ever play Bow Riches? I had to look this game up. No, I do not. I will play a lot of different games, but when it gets to be crazy different variations on essentially firework games, I'm out, So no, I don't play that one. Just nope.
And EJ laughs a lot, says, hey guys, you get 6 free games on Dragon Link. Is the outcome of all 6 free games predetermined? Is the total win figured in advance? What about respins, or is the outcome determined after each push? The outcome is every time you push, there's a new RNG stop. So it has not been decided. And this is true on most free games, on most games. In fact, I really can't think of any that it's not true, where the free games outcomes is already predetermined. So no, you are in control. The moment that you press that spin button is when the random number generator picks the result for that upcoming spin. Good question.
What? Okay. I was reading that. And I was like, what did that say?
Oh.
Okay. This is a good one from Kimberly Roloff. So if the government is phasing out pennies, will we see penny removed from slot denomination? No, I don't think we're actually going to see pennies phased out for real. I believe it's still just talk about let's get rid of pennies. Well, so
it would cost us more to get rid of pennies than it would to just keep using them.
And think what that does to prices. Now everything has to be basically to 5 cents. So nothing can be 91 cents. It has to be 95 cents. So everything, basically inflation goes up by 1 penny if you get rid of pennies, that minimum. So I don't think they'll be getting rid of actual pennies anytime soon. But I do believe that the penny denomination in slots is going to be here for quite a long time. And the penny denomination really isn't a penny denomination. Essentially, it's on the bare minimum 50 cents to 75 cents. Yeah, so, and that's if you're lucky to find it. Usually it's $1.20 is the minimum. 88 cents. Yeah. That's not a penny machine. That's 75 cents.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I don't see it happening anytime soon.
Jode's coming in with a good question. She's not ragging on me tonight. Thank you, sweetie. Do they always replace the entire cabinet when they bring in a new machine? Can they just change out the glass software to save money? So, yeah, most cabinets are modular these days, where they can do that, especially the video style. Every time you've seen a live show from us, guys, I got a different game loaded on here. It's really easy for them to do conversion kits like that to just put new games on. And they absolutely do that by design, so that it's not having to come in and move a bunch of machinery around, things like that. And that's why you see like new cabinet designs come out, but you still have the same games, things like that. So it's very much, and this is why it's very difficult for a lot of game designers are trying to get everybody's eyeballs and everybody to, we want this game to be a hit. We want this game to be a hit, but they never know until people start playing it, even after they've put months and months and months of work into the game design. They never know until they put it out there if people are going to like it or not. So sometimes their game gets out there and 2 weeks later, it is a distant memory because nobody wanted to play it. It was too confusing. The hit frequency wasn't, it didn't feel right, whatever the case is.
Yeah.
So casinos will just call them up and say, hey, we gotta swap this out. Dancing Drums Prosperity is not anything anybody wants to play anymore. So can we put Huff and Even More Puff on it? And then they send a guy out and they replace it. So yep.
From Glenn, hello. What's your daily budget for a long weekend on the Strip? Glenn, it doesn't matter where I'm at. My daily budget is pretty much always the same. It's $300 to $500, roughly. So usually on the lower end. And although it drives Mark crazy, I do have like a reserve. But that's really just if I'm feeling it. So $300 to $500 is my average daily, pretty much in there. And it doesn't matter where I am, whether I'm on the Las Vegas Strip, whether I'm going to Atlantic City or Foxwoods, or I'm going to WinStar. It's always the same. I've set my budget based on the amount of money I'm willing to risk and the amount of money I have available to me that is not attached to any bills.
Oh gosh, so many questions in here. We're never going to get through this. But guys, seriously, please do us a favor, because after this is over, we're not really easily able to go back and read all the questions. Start leaving comments on our daily videos with your questions. If we didn't get them answered, put them in there, because we are looking for ideas on doing dedicated videos every single day. We want to educate you guys. So you got some good questions in here, so I don't want to get them lost. So make sure you do that for us. We really appreciate it. And we got a new member that just joined too, Bays 2.72. Thank you so much for your contribution and membership. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Bays. Appreciate it.
Yeah. All right.
From Slot Hits 777. Make sure to check out their channel. I haven't checked you out, but I'll go to it. Thanks, Dave, for your quick short video about the 10% tax and the big Fed bill. Hey, I appreciate that. A lot of people didn't really appreciate the information, but it's something to keep an eye. It's news for gamblers. We're gamblers here, and that's news that could affect us. Now, it may or may not be in the bill, but it's looking pretty good right now. So get ready for only to be deducting 90% of your losses.
All right. This is I like this question. Talking Share 30. So is there a real way to find out what the volatility or variance of a slot machine is? So
yes.
It's yes and no.
Become a slot attendant at the casino you want to know and look at all the machines.
They don't even know. They don't even know. They don't know what the volatility is. You'd have to have access to the par sheet.
Oh, I mean, volatility. I'm thinking of
slot attendants and even slot techs don't really see that stuff. So all the manufacturers put out a slot, a volatility index. Now they all use a different formula. It's all in relation, like Dave talks about this, which is very true. It's all in relation to all the other games that they have, right? And so we don't get to see that, unfortunately. We're trying to change that. We think it's an important figure for people to see so they know what to get into. But here's the best way to do it, in my opinion, is to watch other people play it. YouTube has a lot of content providers out there. Look for the ones that sit down and play it for at least 10 minutes, if not longer. See the full length of them playing. How frequent does the bonus round come around? If the bonus round comes around, is it good or is it bad? Is it kind of meh, or is it really volatile where some bonuses are terrible and some are, skyrocket amounts? Like the new Huff and Puff Graham, you see crazy variance on that one. So that's what I do to learn about a game is I watch a lot of people play it before I jump in and start playing it myself. And I honestly, to this day, this is just something I started thinking about the last 3 or 4 months. To this day, that is how I figure out how the game is going to play. I mean, I have kind of an advantage here because I've got the machines behind me and I can kind of play with dumb money, and figure out kind of what the bonus frequency is and all that. But yeah, go out there and watch people play before you submit a dime, and you'll start to see the trend of it, right? But again, no shorts, no giant, huge jackpot hand pay on Huff and Puff Grand, none of that stuff. That's not going to tell you anything. That may tell you the potential of the game, but it's not telling you what it took to get there. Some of these people, get a $12,000 hand pay, but they spent 15 grand to get it. You didn't see that part, right? But that's an important piece of that information and that puzzle that you need to see. So yeah, that's my recommendation at this point is to just go and watch people play. Don't be a creeper in the casino, but watch people play. If you do want to test it out yourself, do all the lowest bets that you can and just kind of feel it out a little bit and then make the determination.
From Mark Reitmeyer, what's the deal with pauses in between spins during automatic bonus spins? Sometimes takes forever. I have recently really started paying attention to this myself, and I do agree it does take forever. And while I don't have any solid proof, I believe it's to make these bonuses last longer, to stretch them out so that they feel like they're taking much longer than they are. You can kind of see a big difference between like even the original Dragon Link free spins go way quicker than the newer versions of like Phoenix Link. Phoenix Link takes at least twice as long per spin for the free games than it does on Dragon Link. And I believe this is just a pattern to essentially make the bonus seem like it's taking longer and that you're getting more for your bonus money.
The other thing that you may be witnessing is the way the mechanics of a slot machine is that whenever you are presented with a win, it has to show every single pay line that you got a win on, and that could delay the next spin. That's why some people just press the button when they see a cherry show up because it's like, oh man, there's 50 lines on this thing, and it has to show me every single time a cherry hit on one of those lines, and it's going to take forever to get going to the next spin. So that could be it too.
Frankenstein takes forever with that. Oh, yeah. And I found Everlasting Turtle, by the way. Everlasting Turtle, the one I found on the cruise ship.
That stupid game?
Video game? Yeah. I had George playing it. George is in love with that game now. It is it is just as much fun on the cruise ship.
It's Huff and Puff though, isn't it? It's the same thing.
It's a little different because the bonuses are neat. So I think that's what really sets the game apart is that the bonuses are interesting. They're not hold and spins. The bonus is not hold and spin at all. And I find any game that doesn't have a hold and spin bonus now refreshing.
Let's see. And Bay's 2.72, and thanks for your membership. Appreciate it, buddy. On games with counters like Rich Little Piggies or Regal Riches, does the higher count mean a higher likelihood of a good bonus, or is the same bonus amount spread over more swings and wilds? So it really depends. So Regal Riches is definitely different. I've actually got it sitting right here. It's different because the more wilds you get, the more lucrative or potential lucrative of the bonus round, just because the nature of having more wilds. It spans it out over the 10 spins. But those have must hit by components. So those free spins have to hit by a certain amount. So advantage play, people really jump on Regal Riches whenever those are getting high or very close to their must hit by numbers. And that is an advantage play. If you know what the math is and you know what that number is, then it's a good time to sit down and start playing it. Rich Little Piggies is a little different. I think there's actually only one must hit by component, and that's the free games pig. I could be wrong, but that's what I remember. So that one is more, and I think it goes up to 99. So unless it's close to 99 free games, I don't think it's going to hit. It's probably most likely the odds say that it's going to hit before it gets to 99. So I wouldn't really call that one an advantage play necessarily, but Regal Riches certainly is. I hope that answers a little bit of your question. I think I knew what you were trying to say.
From Yuri Kirby, is force stopping a spin advisable? it makes no difference. It doesn't do anything different other than speed up the play. So if that's what your goal is, go for it. If your goal is to enjoy it, just let it play out. There's no difference.
Let's see. Oh, we got other new members in here. So Kathy, thank you so
Wow.
much for
Thank you,
becoming
Kathy.
a member. And Talking Share did too. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right. You guys are awesome. Let's see. If you see one, Dave, go ahead.
I'm trying. I was just scrolling past some.
No, you're good. Garrett Goron says, "How many different RNGs, random number generators, are there in a game? Can multiple games with video poker slots, keynote, or blackjack? Thank you. I think I understand what you're saying. So try to think of it. All an RNG is a random number generator. That's it. So every game that IGT produces has an RNG in it. It's the same RNG for all of those. All it's doing is spitting out random numbers, pseudo random numbers. Okay. For the sake of a human being, it's pretty random, right? It's just a big string of numbers that's being generated every microsecond. Whenever you hit the spin button, it pulls from the random number generator and says, give me a number. And then that number corresponds to a symbol or stack of symbols that you will see on the real spin, okay? So the randomness is not knowing what's coming next, but then it's going to pick from something that it has to, like a certain symbol or a set of symbols or a bonus round or something. That's what it's doing there. As for video poker and all that kind of stuff, the RNG is just responsible for the shuffling of the cards to ensure that it's properly shuffled and not weighted in any way. Like a lot of people feel like, man, I always get it's always ace king, or the dealer's always getting blackjack. They must be fixing it or weighting it so that the dealer always gets blackjack more often on those video blackjack games. It's not possible because it's not legal to do that. So the RNG is responsible for making sure it's a continuous shuffle, if that makes sense. Sorry, I'm getting late, so some of these questions are just I'm starting to lose it. I'm just getting tired.
Someone asked about what's the secret to win at Keno, or how to play Keno better. Yeah, the best thing is that not to play. So I had to look up the numbers because I love saying these numbers. The odds of getting 20 numbers in Keno is 1 in 3.5 quadrillion. To put that in perspective, the odds of getting struck in the head by a meteorite is 1 in 100 billion. So you have 30,000 times more likelihood of getting struck by a meteorite in the head than you do of winning at Keno. All 20 numbers. And a quick one here. Cheap slots and cheap gambling. Any special surprises brought to Foxwoods? I got nothing special. Just NJ slot guy, old school slots, going to be joining me there. That's about it, pretty much. NJ and I are going to be driving around Newark and looking at some of the Sopranos locations. And we are definitely going to be missing Mark and be like, we miss you, Mark.
We'll make another trip out there. We'll do an official. We'll have to do some kind of official thing out there because we know we have a lot of fans. So
yeah,
hopefully we can do that soon.
And here's FL Loon News. So much for increasing the hand pay amount, eh?
That was never going to happen.
Didn't think about reducing itemized deductions for gambling winnings. So that's what I've been telling you guys. When are they going to do this? When are they going to increase the hand pay limit? They've never thought about it. That's the thing, is these guys have never had it on their mind. They're only thinking about how to get more taxes, not less. So pretty much it. That's all gone for us normal people who maybe once in a while like to get a hand pay and kind of write that off, but now we can't.
All right, guys, I'm going to have to call it quits here because I'm getting tired.
There were a lot of great questions, everyone.
Yeah,
please
thank you so much. Sorry we didn't get all of them. Yeah, we'll be here next week. And like I said, go into when Dave posts his awesome video tomorrow morning, go in there and start leaving comments with your questions that we didn't get covered tonight. And we'll do a dedicated video and give you a shout out. So, guys, thank you so much. Sorry we didn't go too long. Everyone. We went an hour. That's what we usually do. But I'm getting tired. It's been a long, long work day. My brain is fried. So I hope you guys understand.
It's a short work week, but it's still long days.
Oh, man.
I don't know why.
I don't know how I'm going to make it to Friday. But Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for
Thank
all
you,
your
everyone.
views and subscriptions and thumbs up and sharing and all that kind of stuff. We really do appreciate you. And have a wonderful night. Gamble smart.
Gamble safe. More
Take
coming
care,
soon.
guys. Yep.
Have a good
Bye-bye.
one.